Over the past few years in F1, we've seen several drivers return to their old teams, whether it be Fernando Alonso in Alpine, Daniel Ricciardo in AlphaTauri, or Nico Hulkenberg this season going back to Sauber. That got us thinking, who are some of the most famous drivers in F1 history who have gone back to their former teams? Starting off with Fernando Alonso, who's been back to two different teams twice, McLaren and three times at Renault Alpine. His first McLaren spell only lasted 1 year amid that fallout, but returned across the 2015 to 18 phase, obviously marred by Honda uncompetitiveness. Alonso's two world titles came with Renault in 2005-06, and he returned in 2008-09 for less successful after his McLaren divorce, and then came back when he restarted his F1 career and even got a podium. Number 11 is Kimi Raikkonen at Ferrari and Sauber. Kimi Raikkonen secured a high-profile move to Ferrari in 2007, winning a world title, but left after 2009 to compete in Rally, and when Ferrari recruited Alonso. Raikkonen returned to F1 in 2012 with Lotus, but then made his comeback to Ferrari, where he scooped one more win and also had separate spells at Sauber at both the beginning and the end of his career. And Nigel Mansell earned a legion of fans racing for Williams in the 1980s, but after two running up positions, jumped to Ferrari for 1989. That lasted only 2 years though, and for 1991 he returned to Williams and was in the right place when the iconic FW14B arrived in 1992, obliterating the opposition, winning 8 of the opening 10 races to secure the title. Moving on then to Alain Prost at McLaren. He debuted in 1980 with McLaren, but departed at the end of the year to spearhead Renault's project. He returned in 1984, kickstarting a hugely successful 6-year spell, which concluded amid the heights of his rivalry with Ayrton Senna. Prost won 3 of his world titles with McLaren and had some iconic wins, and of course that iconic battle with Senna. Pierre Gasly debuted with Toro Rosso in late 2017 and was drafted into Red Bull senior team for 2019 in place of Renault Bell and Ricciardo, but Gasly struggled alongside Max Verstappen, and mid-season Red Bull wielded the axe. Gasly was shuffled back to Toro Rosso and thrived, taking a podium in Brazil before pulling off a stunning win for the rebranded AlphaTauri team this in 2020. Another podium followed in 2021 as he headed to Alpine in 2023. Next up is Nico Hulkenberg, not just at Sauber but also at the Force India Racing Point Aston Martin team. But yeah, his reputation with them lasted a decade. He spent 2012 with Force India, leading a Rain Brazil Grand Prix, but then moved to Sauber before he returned in 2014 and was there for a few years, moving on to Renault, and then of course had that famous COVID race where he stepped in for Lance Stroll. Johnny Herbert even then came in at Benetton. The popular Herbert began his F1 career with Benetton in 1989, just a few months after sustaining life-changing foot injuries and a terrible F3000 accident. He scored points but was dropped before returning at the end of 1994 and was kept on in 1995 as teammate to Michael Schumacher. Daniel Kvyat had 2 spells at the Toro Rosso AlphaTauri team, 3 spells even. He debuted in 2014 with Toro Rosso but was promoted to Red Bull for 2015 in place of Sebastian Vettel. However, he was demoted back 4 rounds into 2016 with some guy called Max Verstappen coming in to replace him. And he struggled at the end of his second stint and left in 2017 before being recruited again in 2019, delivering a shock podium in Germany, and stayed on for 2020 before leaving for good at the end of that year. Gerhard Berger had 2 spells with both Ferrari and Benetton at 87 and 89 with Ferrari before 1993 for a 2-year spell at Ferrari, claiming 5 wins across 2 phases. He also claimed his and Benetton's maiden win in 1986 in Mexico and returned in 1996 towards the end of his career and took his final victory there at 1997 before retiring at the end of the year. Kevin Magnussen found career stability at Haas after being chewed up by both McLaren and Renault in his years in F1. He spent 4 years in the midfield outfit but was let go in 2020, but then was taken on for 2022 when Nikita Mazepin, obviously that Russia-Ukraine war started, and he was forced out. Bessa was to come in Sao Paulo when Magnussen started in a rain-affected qualifying session to secure a shock maiden pole for him and his team Haas. Nick Heidfeld spent 2001-03 with Sauber, taking a maiden podium before stints with Jordan and Williams. After BMW's investment, Heidfeld returned to Sauber in 2006 and was an occasional podium contender before leaving when the German marquee withdrew its support after 2009. There was one final flourish in 2010 when he returned to Sauber for the final 5 rounds of the season, but only took a handful of points in poor machinery. Giancarlo Fisichella spent 2 periods at Jordan Force India and Benetton/Renault, changing teammates. But yeah, his first full season in 1997 was with Jordan before 4 years at Benetton and a return to Jordan. A shock win finished followed in Brazil 2003 before his only full season elsewhere with Sauber in 2004. Fisichella returned to now Renault in 2005, taking 2 wins in 3 years before slipping back to Force India now, as they were then known. And his career ended as a substitute for Ferrari in late 2009, but his 19 podiums and 3 win all came with the 2 teams he went back and then came back to. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily F1 news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.